You know, the most expensive ticket for week one in college football is in Morgantown this upcoming weekend. Hi, everybody. I am Colin Bashir, your host here at Bashir CFB Show. I'm going to try to make this video and any other videos I do tonight pretty brief because, as you can tell, if you've been around here before, my voice is pretty shot, and I'm just trying to work with it here and be able to make the content regardless. Really never had this issue around football season, but, you know, I work a line job. It gets boring, talk a lot. It is what it is. So let's get straight into this ball game right here. West Virginia hosting the Penn State Nittany Lions. You have Drew Allar on one side, and the favored Nittany Lions here, 8 or 8.5, is where you're going to be able to get the Penn State line. Penn State's going to be able to run the ball. I think a lot of people expect for that duo of Nicholas Singleton and Katron Allen to be able to have success. But I have a lot of questions about the offensive line. I got a lot of questions about that wide receiver core, about Drew Allar being able to play on the road, about the adjustment with the helmet comms and being able to hear your coach. But what I do know is that Andy Kotelnicki is an upgrade for dang sure as an offensive coordinator. So the real question is, do they have the weapons on the outside? And what I'm going to be watching for is if guys like Caden Saunders, Harrison Wallace, Julian Fleming can step up and provide that spark at wide receiver for Penn State. But Penn State's front seven is certainly loaded, and it's going to be headlined by a guy in Abdul Carter, who everybody knows of. He's going to be one of the best, if not the best, defensive player in America this year, and I think we got to certainly watch for him. That secondary definitely has some good pieces to it, but it might not be as good, though, as years past. So this is going to be an interesting test, as West Virginia does have a great offensive line, a mobile quarterback, and a couple of guys at the running back spot that can run the ball, Jaheim White and C.J. Donaldson. But the real question is also going to be the same question on the other side. Does West Virginia have the ability to expose the secondary of Penn State? That is going to be a little bit of a challenge. I'm looking for guys like Traylon Ray is a young player that I expect to play well. Hudson Clement as well. If these guys can play well, though, on the perimeter and Garrett Green can be the baller and the playmaker that he is, West Virginia has a real shot. But why I really like West Virginia in this spot and really like West Virginia in this game is because they have the better offensive line between the two teams. At the end of the day, Penn State has some questions on their offensive line. They have not been great, by the way, with Olu Fashanu the last couple of years. Just overall, even though he was great in pass pro, they overall had not been great. And they struggled a little bit in the run game a couple of years ago, and they've been a little bit better. But still last year, I felt like this Penn State offensive line was completely underwhelming versus West Virginia. Though they lost Zach Frazier, they got a lot of depth, a lot of experience. They're going to be able to run the football as a result, unless this Penn State defensive front is able to take over the ball game. Overall, I think that Penn State's defensive front is not going to be able to take over the ball game. And I think that West Virginia is going to pull off the major upset here. I'm going with the West Virginia Mountaineers 27, the Penn State Nittany Lions 24. I think Penn State will be able to run the ball. I don't think they're going to be able to throw the ball too well. They're going to have moments in the run game. And that creativity of Andy Kotelnicki is going to do well. But I also think that the gamer and Garrett Green, as well as the experience on the offensive line, the duo at running backs, and even deeper than maybe I even know, I think that West Virginia also has enough perimeter talent that they can make plays. So I got West Virginia winning a very close one in Morgantown with the big home field advantage. And that is really the tiebreak to me. I think these two teams are rather even across the board, but home field advantage. To me, there's not really a coaching advantage, but there is home field advantage. West Virginia, Milan Pusker Stadium, Morgantown is going to be rocking. So cue country roads out there, man. This is going to be the best environment of the college football Saturday. And please enjoy it at high noon this Saturday.